February air, a winter's harsh. A different kind of love, a sacred rush. Before the roses is all the fleeting glance. Before the scales and a fighting chance. We're the phoenix nesters watching from the wire. Seeing shadows fall, fueling the fire. Every story buried, every silent tear becomes a promise whispered, conquering the fear. Oh, Lady Justice, can you feel the shift arise? A love for the truth reflected in our eyes. We're turning the pages, breaking all the locks. This is our true crime, resetting all the clocks. They sold you a story, a neatly packaged lie. But the threads are unraveling under a watchful sky. From the cold case files to the digital trace, we're finding a heartbeat in this forgotten space. Oh, Lady Taro space, can you feel the shift arise? A love for the truth reflected in our eyes. Returning the pages, breaking all the locks. This is a true crime, resetting all the clocks. From the ashes of silence, a new day is born. For every lost soul, a promise is sworn. The blindfold is lifting, steady and slow. A garden of justice is starting to grow. Shift to arise, pure justice. Lady Justice.
Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
All right, mic check. Yes, we're coming in loud and clear. You know, I usually don't go live this late, but since y'all are awake, let's have a party. Let's have a party. I'm going to talk about IDAHO4 specifically, and then at the end, I'll talk about a little bit about our exciting field trip today over to Nancy Guthrie's house. And the experience today was amazing for y'all to just come along with me. And I just started, so y'all hang tight. I've got a couple of emails, and I'm going to bring up this document so that we can all see it. And I'm sure you guys have really heard about it today from other creators, which is awesome. So I did most of the driving on the way back, so I did not be... I'm just telling you, I did not have a lot of time to review the document, to go through it, but I have a suspicion, a sneaky suspicion, that this is not, I mean, there's some suspicious activities, right? I mean, let's get into it. So, if you've been following me in the Idaho 4 and I have given you plenty of information, I want to correct myself first this evening. I misspoke the other day when I looked up an individual's record. Now, the way the states exhibit on their witness list, I just want to show you real quick. Let me grab it so that you can see what I'm looking at. So when someone asked me the other day, hey, let's look up Quinn Kelly, I spelled his name exactly like it was seen on the witness document. Let me just grab that. All right. This is what I was looking at. Okay. And I told you in the same stream, other creators are trying to twist my words. In the same stream, when I brought up a different individual with the full name of their spelling, I said, excuse me, sorry guys, that guy was born in 1942. That's not the right individual. So for all the streamers that want to come at me, I corrected myself. So there really is no need to try to bash me because you're going to twist the story the way you want. But I'm going to tell you, there was only one record for Quinn Kelly that I did not mention on the stream. He does not have a record. I misspoke. But the only record in his file, which I did not want to speak on, was the matter of guardianship and conservatorship of Jaden Taylor Smith, Cameron Downs, Reese Downs, Skylar Kelly, and Quinn Kelly, a minor. So this was guardianship, a joint petition guardianship. So I didn't want to talk about that, but somebody had to correct me. So here is the correct information. He was born in 2009, and he was the subject of this guardianship. And you can go down and you can look, and it's all public record. So there you have it. I've corrected myself and I've corrected you at the same time. So kudos to you for pointing that out and making me fix my error, but also exposing something else that I wasn't going to expose. So good job. Good job, YouTube. Good job. So welcome every single one of you to my stream tonight. It's been a long day, but I'm going to go ahead and do this. I've got a lot of good information to bring you tonight. So then let's talk about the new contact exposed. Now, obviously I immediately saw the information in the court document and I thought to myself, okay, I've seen something like this before. And this was in the exhibit 1A in support of affidavit and objection to state's motion in limine. That means they want to limit the scope in a trial to specific things. So let's say that in this instance, we can only talk about certain things because it's going to take forever to get through this trial if they had a trial, right? And they're talking about specifically text messages and testimony of those text messages. And this was the defense's strategy. This was the defense 100%. And so they say, comes now that Brian Koberger, by and through his attorneys of record, and hereby files under seal. This was under seal until they released it as new. And you see the state's motion in limine. Now, here's two things that I noticed about this document. One, which really concerns me, is the timing of the release of this document. And I made a video about it. I don't know if y'all saw it, but I'm going to grab it real quick. And let's just a quick hot second. this is going to be a kicker.
IDAHO4. New documents drop. Just one today. And then you have to ask yourself, with everything going on with the WSU lawsuit, why did they drop one document regarding Dylan Mortensen's phone and text communications that night and the day? You have to ask yourself, what strategic procedure is about to take place? Because the plaintiffs filed a response to not wanting to take this lawsuit federally, not to change the court view. And it's odd that we have been waiting approximately 6 weeks for new documents to drop, and the only document released today happens to be that document, the document I'm going to show you right here. So what are your thoughts about this? I mean, you can review it. We know most of it. Like and follow for more. Be well.
And here was the document that I uploaded directly so that you can review it. You don't have to go to the website Justice for All, but you can actually see it for yourself. You can stop it and read it, whatever you have. You can screen record it, get a good clean copy. And you know, I got this comment about an hour ago. I just saw it. I believe they know us internet sleuths are getting close to figuring things out. And from day one, I have said Dylan had something to do with this. Now we need to figure out who Brittany is. Well, I've got some experience, just a little tiny bit of experience in data communications. And when you see something like this, Brittany Fernandez, there is a very questionable about how many characters will hold in the contact information. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Let me go over to the actual document itself. And when you look at the document right here, I'm going to pull it up. You have to question, this was dated on 3/6/25 evidence. And you have to look at something similar to it. Yeah, red flags. The 33 Club is working hard and overtime. Do me a favor. If you are in this chat, you probably can't sleep. You're thinking about other things. But do me a favor and drop a like real quick. And so when you start looking at, this was on an iPhone mobile library, just because Dylan made a contact at that time, at that hour, it doesn't mean that she actually communicated or contacted or had any type of texting back and forth to this individual. So it could have been, you know, just random that she made a new contact, like, oh, I got to remember to go ahead and add this contact to my phone. But that's what ran through my mind. What ran through your mind? Drop it below. What ran through your mind when you saw this information right here? Contacts 11/13/2022 at 3:51 a.m. One, I knew she wasn't asleep. What? I drop two if I could. Okay. What was the first thing that you thought about when you saw this contact? Who the heck is that? Yeah. Let me put this notes on let me put your comments on stage. Yeah, she's dirty. Same initials as Bethany F. Yes. Yes. Red flags. I get it. That's a really good one. Bethany F. I always like, oh, you're so sweet, Jackie. Thank you, babe. Got some OGs in the house. Interesting. We are giving Dylan due process, but Brian is guilty from the jump. Caleb, you have a very interesting comment. 2 likes, laugh out loud. I got you. I'd drop 2 likes if I could. Thanks, Brett. How have you been, buddy? Haven't seen you around in a long time. Hope you're doing good. That could have been her rug. I don't know about that. I mean, you know, you can just go and let's go on a field trip real quick. And Brittany Fernandez, let's just say her name is Fernandez, okay? Let's just say College of Tampa. maybe, maybe not. And then let's just do Idaho, because let's just assume it's Idaho. Okay. We don't know if that's the case, right? We're just shot in the dark. We don't know who it is. They released her whole name, but I don't think Fernande. Okay, so let's just see if there's a Fernande in Idaho. Is Fernande even a name? Name. Let's see if there's anybody. Oh, wow. Okay. Fernande is a classic and elegant name meaning brave journey or peace journey, adventurous or bold voyager. But I don't see anyone with the name Fernande. Alan Fernande in Florida, Gisrelda Fernande, Pedro Fernande, Fernande Duffy, Fernande Joseph. So let me see if I can find a Brittany. A-N-Y, Brittany Fernande. Facebook. Brittany Fernande, Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, so there is somebody with that name. No info. Cleveland, Ohio. Nope. It doesn't give us a lot of information to be able to, everyone's talking about this, I suppose. Brittany Fernandez in LinkedIn. Brittany Fernandez, State of Washington, open payrolls. Well, I've been blocked. Fernandez, Instagram. Brittany Fernandez in Gainesville, Florida. Huh. How many people do you think we're gonna do a little digging here. So Brittany Fernandez Agute Weregraf, 35, born in Florida, affiliated with the Democratic Party. Let me just put this up on stage for you to see it. Neighbors, nope, Gainesville, Florida, Florida Public Records. Okay, that's one person with the real name. Brittany Fernandez. There's another one on Facebook that's Cleveland, Ohio. But Brittany Fernandez doesn't say anything about her. I don't see any pictures that would lead me to believe she would be in Idaho. I mean, honestly, this might be a shot in the dark, right? That kind of looks... I don't see any tags, no locations. This is going to be a really hard one to figure out. Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. Unless somebody knows, Dylan typed it as though, but the records are the real spelling. Yeah, and here's what I was going to say real quick. If you know there is enough, okay, there is enough characters on this line, because the next line says source, interaction C. There would be enough space. So whether she entered it different or that is the real name, I don't think we will ever know. TikTok, Brittany Fernandez. Okay. So try Carmen Fernandez. I don't think it's related to Carmen Fernandez. I don't. Okay, I mean, I did a little digging, but I don't think so. So when you see this document and we're looking at it, there's enough spaces to add a Z in there unless she didn't add a Z. I don't think we're ever going to figure out who it is. I mean, they're not telling us who it is either. And this girl, was not even on the state's witness list, right? So if the prosecution was trying to protect Dylan, and if they were, I'm just saying if, they would have had this individual on the witness list to maybe not bring him on the witness list. I'm just saying this and being devil's advocate here. You put somebody on a witness list and they are going to come to court, and then the defense can have a field day with them and break down their whole story, their whole case, their case in chief, if that's what you will. And they could poke holes through all of it, like all of it. Let me see if there was even a Brittany on this list for the state. I don't think so. I don't remember seeing any Brittany. No, there is no Brittany on this list. Now, I could go over to the defense witness list in the IDAHO4, sorry. And I could go ahead and look at the defense's witness list. And I don't remember seeing a Brittany Fernandez on that list either. And no, there is none. So this was this was the second. Let me see if there's the first. Hold on a minute. First stage. District 4, phase 2. Let me look at phase 1. Phase 1 was the actual trial. Let me see. Defendant second. Where's the 1? Phase 1. Let me go back to the repository real quick. Whew, there's a lot going on here. Let me see if I can find phase 1 witness list real quick. And Caleb is my mod since we are so late live. Hey, Susie Little B. How are you? Come on, jump on in. I don't see contact. This is so fucked up to do this contact. Brittany F is likely a made-up name for someone else. Possible. Did you see BK was named as a witness? No, I have not seen this yet. I was trying to verify this before I went live. I have not seen anything, nothing as a witness list. So let me look and see witness phase 1. Phase 2 mitigation list. 2 redacted. Let me see if there's another one here. Phase 1 expert list. Phase 2. Phase 2. Phase 1 defense lay witness. Let's see. Shoot. Nope, that's not it. Phase 1 late witness list redacted. Let's see if there is. This is a different list. Let's see if there is a Brittany on this. Brittany. Nope. I don't see any Brittany. Nope. I don't see any Brittany. Let me see. Wow. I don't even see somebody's name that I was looking for earlier, which is so weird. So freaking weird. Angela Alvarez. N. Nope, don't see it. Molly McMichaels was on the list for Koberger. FBI guy was on the list. Nope, I don't see anybody related to this. Yasina Rejo was on the list because she was a witness, I believe. Cy Ray was on the witness list. And no, I don't see Brittany at all. Not one bit. Now, either this was a made-up list, WSU witness list. I have not seen any witness list. So who got the witness list to say that in writing? Who got that to verify? Anybody know? Kathy Indie Zone. Okay, so let me run over there real quick. She is very, very good about sharing. So,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back
2 weeks
to
ago.
the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. It's been about a month since the
Hold on, let me make this larger.
law filed a lawsuit in a Washington state court against Washington State University. That complaint described events not only occurring in Moscow, Idaho on November 13th, 2022, events occurring in the nearby town just over the state line of Pullman, Washington, in the raising of multiple claims against the defendant WSU. There have been some questions, some commentary after members of the public read the complaint if Mr. Koberger would be a witness either at a deposition or at trial. And in reading the complaint, there seems to be, at least in my opinion, grounds that he might be deemed as a witness with knowledge with one side or the other, be it the plaintiffs or Washington State University, seeking to take his, for example, deposition, which is where a court reporter would be present, both sides there, and questions under oath asked of Mr. Koberger. Now, as you know, he is a prisoner in the Idaho state prison system, so there would need to be extra hoops going through to depose him, but that's a matter that would not be addressed until down the line under the appropriate federal rule of civil procedure. Step one is to learn if one of the parties would even be inclined to take his deposition, and that information would be, in my opinion, privy to the public much sooner than even a notice of deposition that might hit the docket at some future time would. The rule in question is Rule 26 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. Rule 26 is a duty to disclose. You may have seen movies where there might be a court proceeding that's happening, a trial, and then the doors fling open and the secret witness enters and wins the case for the plaintiff or the
Hey, I'm going to show you this, guys. This is wild. This is freaking wild. So that channel is talking about this document being filed, the tort claim, but yet all these people on here And there's nothing that's been done except for a case file sheet, a summons, a complaint, a demand for a 12-person jury, which has been paid for, notice of appearance, and notice of filing a petition for removal of the district court. That means they filed a petition 30 days ago, basically almost 30 days ago, in a couple days, basically saying that, hey, by the way, we want to move this to another court. And I know that someone said that the petitioners filed. I should have looked at this for myself. So nothing else has been done in the last 28 days. Nothing has been done. Nothing has been filed other than the notice of filing to removal, for the petition to remove this from this jurisdiction. Guys, I think this is why we need to verify what's being said out there. Wow. I don't know if you guys even looked for yourself. This just blows my mind. And this is why there has to be some truth in truth crime, in the true community, the true crime community. I mean, this just really blows my mind. There's nothing been filed for the last 20 some odd days. And how can someone go on and let's just listen to what she has to say.
The rule in question is Rule 26 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. Rule 26 is a duty to disclose. You may have seen movies where there might be a court proceeding that's happening, a trial, and then the doors fling open and the secret witness enters and wins the case for the plaintiff or the defense. That doesn't happen in real life because there is a public policy that the parties should not keep things in secret, but share what their evidence is. And Rule 26 is one mechanism to ensure that evidence is exchanged and to meet the public policy that underlies open disclosure of evidence that cases will tend to settle, get resolved sooner if key evidence isn't hidden. Under Rule 26, the parties at some point down the line are going to have to make their initial disclosures.
Sometime down the line.
This rule requires, in general, that they have to exchange the name and, if known, address and telephone number of each individual likely to have discoverable information, along with a description of what that information is, and that the disclosing party may use to support its claims or defenses. Claims being the plaintiff. The plaintiff has raised claims or counts that you've read in the complaint. Defenses would be any defenses that WSU raises. They have not yet responded to the complaint. So this rule is the mechanism that even before any party who is even inclined to take Mr. Koberger's deposition and scheduling a notice of deposition, this rule will likely answer the question of, might he be deposed in future when these disclosures happen?
Might.
You have any thoughts, opinions, comments that you'd like to share? Please leave them here. Until next time, this is Kathy. Thank you very much for joining us here today.
Okay, so that was all speculation. That was not factual. Yes, they could file all this. They do have to go through discovery. They do have to let each side know what they are going to do, but they haven't even got to that phase yet because look at the record. This is the official court record. The demand for a jury 12-person paid. That was the filing and the complaint and the summons all on the same day and the cover sheet. And then notice of appearance was filed by attorneys. And then the notice of filing petition for removal of U.S. District Court. They want to basically move it to another court. And nothing has been done in this case since. And it is up to the responsibility of the plaintiff to try their case, which means who obviously WSU asked the court to remove it from U.S. jurisdiction court. District court, sorry. They asked it to be removed from this court to somewhere else. WSU has. All right? So they've not made a response. They basically said, hey, there's no answer to this summons, this complaint that they've been served. They didn't even They just said, hey, can you move this to another court? Okay. So there you have it. There's the actual case number, and there is the repository. And they are all Jeff Cornoodle, Stacy Chapin, Karen Laramie, and Steve Goncalves. They are all on there. They are all suing the state of Washington on that tort claim. It's not been moved. Nothing has happened in the last almost 30 days in this filing, and is up to the plaintiffs to try their case. It is up to the plaintiffs. Nothing has been moved. Nothing has been done. So with that being said, let's jump back over to this new contact exposed. That's a great question. Thanks for asking. And thank you for making me do my due diligence to make sure that what we hear and see is factually happening in the background. Now, in regards to this redacted witness, this contact being released, let me go back to this document. Hold on a minute. I've got so much going on my plate. All right. And where did I leave it? I just had the document. Dang it. Is this it? No, this is not it. Let me pull it back up. All right, here it is. Now, in regards to this name being dropped, someone is saying she's on TikTok. So let's go over to the Tickety Talk and let's see if I can find a Brittany Fernandez. Okay. All I see is Brittany Fernandez. That's all I see. I don't see a Brittany Fernandez. Now, everyone's saying it's Brittany Fernandez. There are a few Brittany Fernandez on here. They're saying that she was a sorority sister. Now, if I do Brittany Fernandez, University of Idaho, since someone said she was a sorority sister, you probably would be able to meet Brittany. She is from ATSO. If she was a sorority sister, she would probably be in their, let me see, Eagle High School. We need your help. Brittany Spotlight. Nope, that's Brittany Young. Nope. Brittany Pritchard, Brittany Fernandez. Nope. Brittany Fernandez, Moscow, Idaho. And you're saying she was from Boise? So let me just go verify and see if she was from Boise. We're on a live dig anyways. Y'all can't sleep, right? From Middleton? Middleton is a farming community. So let me see if I can find anything in Middleton. Am I DTLE? Well, it used to be. Today it's not. Brittany in Middleton, Idaho. Brittany Fernandez. Nampa Star. Brittany Fernandez and Middleton. Brittany Lynn Arnold. Brittany Fernandez. Brittany Fernandez. Nope. Let me try Middleton. Brittany Spangler Wilson. Let me try one more search. I can't show you, but let me see if this girl exists. Okay, let me see. Oh, here we go. She went to Walden University. Brittany Fernandez on the levy vote. Brittany Fernandez. She used to live in Middleton. 39 resides in Nampa. 39. Why would she be connected to a 39-year-old? What would be the purpose if this is the individual that you are speculating? Let's see. Why is anyone speculating that she's 39? Maybe a den mother of a sorority? Oh, yeah, you got a point. She's older. A fighter? What? Let me just check something out real quick. I think you're pulling my leg. All right. She was born, she lived in Nampa, she lived in Caldwell, and she also lived in Middleton. Let me just check this out. She graduated from Walden University. I'm not sure about all this. A den mother? There was no one in... You know what? I'm going to do this. Did she have a daughter going to the University of Idaho? And maybe someone said, hey, call my mom. Maybe she could help. Maybe she can answer your questions. James Fernandez of the University of Idaho, Department of Physics. There is a James Fernandez. Isabel Andres, chemistry major at the University of Idaho. Andre Fernandez went to Moscow. Let me see. Let me check this out. Carmen doesn't have any sister. Hold on. I don't think it would be related to the crash because Carmen didn't have older sisters. Let me see. Hold on. There's no other people with the last name of Fernandez. Isabel Fernandez is an associate professor in Moscow. And no. I wonder, I'm going to work on this for a little bit. I'm going to see if there's a connection with maybe a professor. Possible? I don't know. This is speculation. When we do live digs, all speculative. We're just looking at information. Trying to make a connection is very difficult. 6 degrees of separation. Idaho State University, Susanna Fernandez. Her roots go back to Gooding Middle School. At this point, everyone is speculating, trying to figure out who this is. And they have waited this long to release this information. And why do you think they release this information right now? Carmen Fernandez. You know what? Let me look in the repository. I'm going to see. Let me go to Idaho repository 1 second. Let me go. This is all speculative. Let me look in Carmen's file real quick. Let me just check out something. Something just crossed my mind. Let me search my notes too, because that'll be able to tell me a little bit more. Hold on. Carmen Fernandez. Carmen. Oh, shoot. Okay. I hate these things. I'm not a robot, please. Carmen Fernandez. Nothing pops up. And I know that we just looked at this information the other day. She basically did her community service or whatever. Carmen. Nope. Where is her record? Where is her record? Holy crap. Woman sentenced in Moscow for vehicular assault involving WSU. Carmen Fernandez, 19, in November, striking pedestrians with her car. Where in the world did her record go? I just searched it like a couple months ago. I know it was there. Oh my gosh, look at this. Hold on, I can't even see my screen. Look at this. Error. Access denied. Did they delete it? Independent. Hit and run. What? Hold on a minute. Why are they deleting these? Let me see if you guys can see this. There's something going down in Idaho. I can just feel it. Wow. They redacted documents from... Yeah, why is this hit and run outside of Brian Hober's home? Yeah, and you know what? He even... Okay, so we know he had a scanner. And he was showing up at... Oh my gosh. He was showing up... Seriously, guys. I kind of had a feeling about this. Holy moly. I've talked about this before. Koberger had a scanner. And if he wanted to be a policeman so bad and he wanted to be in law enforcement, and I wonder if he was going... Well, she could have paid to have it expunged. Yeah, but I've got screenshots and stuff from the past. But she was sentenced to house arrest. She was on students. Yeah, you can have it expunged 7 years, 5 years for misdemeanor. But let me just say this, okay? Yes, you can have it expunged under certain circumstances. And if there's an MPD document on this, guys. If he was playing policeman and going to crime scenes to investigate, then yeah, police would probably be frustrated with him, right? I mean, that's like showing up at the scene of a crime. Here, right here. This is supplement 174. I had this bookmark. So approximately 11/12/2022. This is weird because they say he's here. Okay. So he couldn't be two places at once. In the area, blank Pullman, Washington Drive, multiple PD officers, and that's Pullman PPD, arrive on a scene and blocked off area where this incident occurred. This is the crash that night. The location of this accident was near the west entrance to the Grove apartment, not the Grove. He was at the, what was it? It started with a P. I heard he was supposed to testify. Ooh. Anyways, this was near the entrance at the apartment complex near Koberger's residence. I wonder if he would, there was a rumor that Xana and Ethan were part of this accident, and that this is alleged, of course, this is all alleged, and they were returned to the 112. Now, I'm just saying what was alleged. So Carmen Fernandez was later arrested and was the suspect in this case and booked into Whitman County Jail, which that's true. But here's the weird thing. Why didn't she go to the Latah County Jail? If it was, oh no, it was in Pullman. So yeah, it would be Whitney. Okay, got it. She was booked into Whitman County Jail at 8:54 a.m. 8:54 a.m. Hold on. Let me get Whitman County blotter. I want to see. It happened in Whitman County. I'm going to search 11/13. No, they said it was 11/12. 2022. Blotter. Let me see. I'm just curious. Let me take a look at the daily log. Archived. Let me search. Let me search all. So 11/12/2022. Let me start at, let's just start at 0001 a.m. And let me end this the 13th at, let's say, I don't know. Let's just do 11:59 p.m. And let me see what we've got. Search. We want to search calls. Let's see what we can get. Ha, nothing. Archive date 2010, 2011, 22, 20, 22, 23, 23. Why does it jump from 22, 23? Where's 22? Why is that missing? 24, 25. Why is 2022 missing? 24. What? Where's the daily logs for 2022? Okay, here they are. 2022. I wonder why they're at the bottom. So let me go 11/10, November 23rd, the 10th through the 13th. Daily logs. 24th, 13th. Let's do 12. Oh, that's February. Dang it. What am I doing? Well, it said November, but it led me to a different day. November. Why does it say February? What the heck? Archived. Sorry, but there's no page. What? Huh, why is it not correct? Daily log 23. It's not even in order, but where's 22? When I ask for it, it goes to February. Okay, yeah, I see the name. Yeah. No, I didn't find what I was looking for at the thrift store, Grace. I was looking for a big, huge ceramic bowl, like a 13-inch deep, about 7 or 8 quarts, but I'll find something. I just was hoping to find something at the thrift store. Cost savings. I'm frugal. Let me see. This daily log, thanks for asking too. It was kind of a fun field trip, tiring, but it was fun. November, why is this not coming up? I'll tell you, not everything is a conspiracy, but we should be able to see November logs. When you pull it up, right here, nothing. Nothing. Nothing there. It links to February, other news in the log. Let me go December and let me go December and see if it pulls up something. November. Nope, it goes to February. What in the world? No, archive's been deleted. Holy freaking moly. Daily log is missing. So maybe a newspaper shows the calls. Let me see if I can narrow it down to 11/13/2022. Police report, Whitman County blotter. Here we go. Accident reports. '25. Fatal accident. Did these two individuals die? Responded to a crash around 11:40 at the Grove Apartments on Brandy Way. A male WSU student and woman were struck by a vehicle while walking on the sidewalk. Yeah, that's what I see. But here was the question. In this MPD document that I just was sharing, let me throw it back up on the screen. This document, let's see if I can put it back up there. Local accident reports. It won't even let me. It won't let me look at the old reports. I'll have to pull them from a different way. That's crazy. Okay, I'll pull those records, but I'm going to look. So it basically says that Koberger, let me make that larger. Koberger, on January 3rd, 2023, KL, the Pullman PD record specialist, sent me a link to the evidence so I could view and download the videos related to this case. I downloaded 35 videos which span between 23 hours and the next morning till 3:25 hours. Majority of the videos were in the area of the suspect's vehicle, and it was eventually located on Northeast California Street. I provided the downloads to Detective Mowry so he could upload them to the MPD server. I later viewed the videos. I did not see a vehicle matching Koberger's vehicle in any of the videos on Brandy Way or videos near California Street. The longest recorded on Brandy Way starts at 23:43 and runs 1 hour and 21 minutes. All of the videos captured on Brandy Way span from 11/12/2022, 23:41 to around 11:03 at 1 a.m. Brandy Way was closed off with cones and police tape until 12:30 hours so the scene could be processed. And it was cleared at 12:30 at night. I included the west entrance to the apartment complex, which had police tape across the entrance. The east entrance to blank apartments was still available for access to the complex. While reviewing Koberger's cell phone extraction, this is Vargas writing this report, I located a screenshot of the Whitman County jail roster, and it was screenshot at 6:27 p.m. that night. This image was taken from Yik Yak. So obviously, Koberger was on Yik Yak, and he was monitoring crime in the area. Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, Grace, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you. How sweet. I try to do my best. So this image was taken from Yik Yak. So Koberger is a sleuther, guys. No big, reveal there. He was a sleuther. All right. Woo! Are they trying to send a message to sleuthers, guys, or what? They're trying to take away First Amendment speech. They're trying to tell people to stay out of Ellie's business, and I get it. I mean, if they're building a case against someone, you don't want to go and camp out on, their property or go and trespass on people's property. You can do this and be very respectful in this profession. I shouldn't even call it a profession or your hobby, right? I mean, some people take this really personal. I mean, it's a hobby, right? This isn't like a full-time job, even though some people are spending full time doing it. But I'm just saying, he is a crime junkie like us, Inked Mama. And for those of you who can't sleep right now, I'm glad you showed up. So here's the deal. He's a crime junkie, a sleuther, and he wants to be a policeman, right? So he's monitoring the scanners. And how do I know that? Because in another one, it did reveal that he was something about a scanner. So right here in Koberger's Chrome tab history on his phone, I located where he searched for Google Broadcastify, Listen Feed, Pullman Police and Fire Dispatch Live. Audio feed was on 12/13 at 12:26:49 a.m. That was Pullman Police. And you know what? I listen to Broadcastify. Has anybody listened to Broadcastify? I mean, I listen to all kinds of different police and fire, and it's really easy to find Idaho, right? It's some people actually, listen to different locations. So if I went to go and listen to Whitman County, I mean, it's so easy just to go and listen to Whitman County. Very easy. I mean, it's not like it's against the law, right? It's not. You could just go Broadcastify, Whitman County, select which one you want to listen to, Fire, East Fire, EMS. Online, there's nobody listening. You can go right to it. Whitman County EMS. You go through and you listen to a little recording, play live feed. You start the player, play. And this is, you can listen to whatever's on there, right? So if he was listening for things in his area, like since he was studying crime, right? He would definitely be listening to things like this. Me too. Started listening in 2020 during the protests. Yeah. I mean, this thing's been around a long time, folks. It didn't just come out of nowhere. People have been listening to scanners. People have scanners. I mean, it's really easy to, well, this one's saying error connecting to feed. Don't know why, but so yeah, that is available for anybody who wants to go. You can upgrade it if you want. There's an error connecting to the feed, but I mean, it's out there. So it looks to me like Koberger was actually, playing perhaps sleuther, right? He was going and investigating what crime was going on in the area. I maybe he was doing it on his own. I don't think he was being paid or hired, but if he was, um, he's supposed to have records on GitHub too. I've never heard of GitHub. Fiji, no, I tried to explain to him, but he wouldn't get it. Too many peeps. I'm a behavioralist and I listen to a lot of behavioral modification stuff. It makes sense that he was super into what he studied. Yeah. I mean, hello. I mean, I'd listen to podcasts all night and day on the human body, right? So, I mean, when we look at this, it doesn't shock me much that, you know, I don't think Carmen Fernandez had anything. I mean, if he witnessed or he was watching, or even though, let's hypothetically say this. Let's just say that he saw the accident. Okay, there was a hit and run. There are some videos. Let me grab it real quick. There is. Oh, Amanda, you were so awesome. I know Amanda's busy on another feed, but I'm going to grab this link. Let me see. I'm going to grab this link. And it's on Christy Chaos. It's on Christy Chaos. She has a really good channel too. And you know what? I probably should have reviewed this. Has anybody looked at these videos like in slow motion? I'm wondering if anyone can actually see him in any of these videos. Because if he was a witness, that would be very interesting. I mean, I know it's at night. It's dark. Let me see if they're actually... Hold on. I did not watch these all the way through. I've seen them before. I've just not really watched them in great detail. And I'm wondering if that would give us some insight. That's good. Okay, Amanda, you are awesome. Let me look at Christy Chaos. And this is the hit and run. 3 days ago, she put it up. This one was 4 days ago. There's 2 different videos, so let's watch this one together.
As much as I wish.
Okay, let me grab this and let me throw it up here.
Okay.
Hit and run in front.
Yeah, I sure will, okay? But right now, I just don't want you to move, okay?
Go and like her channel. She brings some good stuff to the front.
Okay. Nope. Unfortunately not, okay? As much.
Oh, Grace, you're so sweet.
As much as I wish it was. As much as I wish it was, but you're gonna be okay, kiddo? I do think so, kid. Okay, so let's just relax. He's right there. We got an officer with him. I talked to him a little bit. We're gonna go to the hospital, but you guys are gonna be okay, okay? Were you guys walking on the sidewalk?
I think so.
Okay. Okay. What's the
last? Her voice sounds familiar.
What's the last thing you remember?
Walking across the road.
Okay. Where were you guys walking to?
My boyfriend's apartment.
Okay. Do you know where that apartment is? Okay.
Her boyfriend's apartment.
I don't think I was interested.
No, you're very coherent. That's a good thing.
I'm studying athletic training, so I know a lot of that.
Oh, good. Well,
My shoe's gone.
What's that?
My shoe and my sock is gone.
Yes, it is, kiddo, but we're not going to move right now, okay? I know. We're going to...
She's on her face, unfortunately.
Out, okay?
Man. Oh, no, my gosh.
I got the whole road shut down. It's just you and me right here, okay? It's okay. Deep breaths. Are you having trouble breathing?
Yeah, dude. She's going to have a panic attack.
Do you have an inhaler with you? Okay. Well, because how long have you had asthma?
Since I was born.
Okay, so you know to control the breathing and you know all the good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I know, kiddo, but the medics are pulling up right now. Okay, they're gonna have questions for you, just like I did. My name's Jared. I'm sorry I forgot to introduce myself. That's rude of me. Sorry we're meeting under these circumstances. We're gonna get you all taken care of, okay, kiddo? How old are you? 22. So you fixing to graduate?
22.
Gotcha. He's in the head. What's that? He got head injury. Okay. And
Oh, man.
conscious? Yeah, she said her neck hurts, her leg hurts. She's very coherent. She's very conscious. I just told her, obviously, I didn't want her moving because her neck hurts. Ejected from a vehicle? Or no, hit by a vehicle. By a vehicle? Yeah. 2 people? 2 people. He's down there. She's right here. All right. Do we know
Knocked her shoes off. Oh, my God.
No idea. I'm assuming because he took out this light pole right here, and it sounds like somewhere down this road he also took out a fire hydrant.
Wait a minute.
So
wait a minute.
Moving.
Wait a fucking minute. Excuse me. I'm going to get spicy. Okay? He just said that the driver was a man. Did you guys just hear this? He just said the driver was a man. What is going on? What the... Y'all? I'm about to lose it.
She said her neck hurts, her leg hurts. She's very coherent. She's very conscious. I just told her, obviously, I didn't want her moving because her neck hurts. Ejected from a vehicle? Or no, hit by a vehicle. Hit by a vehicle? Yeah. 2 people? 2 people. He's down there. She's right here. All right. Do we know how fast the car was going, roughly? No idea. No idea? I'm assuming because he took out this light pole right here, and it sounds like somewhere down this road he also took out a fire hydrant.
Who the hell is he? I know I'm not hearing things. I know it's been a long day for me. But this cop just said he. So he must have an idea of where this guy is. He.
Yeah. 2 people? 2 people. He's down there. She's right here.
He is the guy who got hit. She is the girlfriend. But listen, he's defining the 2 he's.
All right. Do we know how fast the car was going, roughly? No idea. No idea? I'm assuming because he took out this light pole right here, and it sounds like somewhere down this road he also took out a fire hydrant. So we're talking moving.
Oh my word. Oh my word. Why did... I've been saying that. Carmen is a female. We know that. He keeps saying he. Carmen is a guy? What? Carmen is not a guy. Carmen Fernandez? Oh my goodness. Oh, you guys are making me dig. Hold on a minute. Y'all are making me dig. Carmen Fernandez. Okay, this is per the Independent. Hit and run unfolded. The hit and run, police called during the crash. Yada, yada, yada. They were on the scene and found 2 pedestrians being struck by the car. The driver had already fled the scene. Hours later, 19-year-old student Carmen Fernandez was arrested and charged with DUI, felony, vehicular assault, and hit and run. It is not clear if Koberger witnessed the hit and run, which took place within the eye line of his apartment. But he was on the scanner and he took a picture of Carmen Fernandez. Okay? Now, I have literally seen with my own freaking eyes, guys, I have seen the police video of them interrogating her or them arresting her, and it is a girl. They arrested a girl for this accident. She wasn't in a bar. She wasn't even using the car, was she? I watched them arrest her. I watched them arrest her too. Carmen's a girl's name. Carmen with sister and a friend. I remember they arrest her. Carmen said it is a guy, but there's an arrest video of her. I've seen it. I watched them arrest her and drive her to the police station. What is going on? BK took a picture of her. Holy smokes. Same here. Carmen is a female and she was in an apartment named 112. Numbered 112. But why is this officer saying he? Why is this officer saying he, a guy did this?
Hit by a vehicle. Yeah. Two people. He's down there.
Shout out
right
to
here.
Christy Chaos.
Right. Do we know how fast the car was going, roughly? No idea. No idea. I'm assuming because he took out this light pole right here, and it sounds like somewhere down this road he also took out a fire hydrant. So we're talking moving. Okay. We're gonna take your backpack off, okay, kiddo?
Okay.
All right. There.
Okay, but this allegedly, the cop is saying it is a guy. Okay, here's the problem with this. They go and arrest this girl. I'm going to play it at normal speed. They go and arrest this girl. And then what happens is that she's charged and she barely gets any, punishment. Think about this. And now her whole record is gone. Let me go to Odyssey again. Hold on. I don't want to say that without double checking. Hold on. I thought it was Idaho. Hold on. I was wrong. Let me go into the Odyssey. JR showed a picture of a guy. Carmen Fernandez. Carmen Elizabeth Fernandez. Okay, so the cop is saying he because it was a hit and run. They don't know who hit and ran. Who was the witness? Who was the witness? This is the actual filing. 11/14/2022, Carmen Elizabeth Fernandez. They blocked out and redacted her name, her date of birth. And let me see. I don't think this is who she looks like. And that is the one they arrest on the video. And I remember she didn't remember that she did this. So they were saying she did this, but somebody borrowed the car. Who borrowed her car? I wonder who the witnesses were that testified. It leads me to believe that he doesn't know it's a girl at this point. Got it. That would make sense. That would make sense. That is the picture on Pullman Radio right here. That is the picture of Carmen Fernandez. And there is, let's listen to this.
She has shown a great regard for her actions. I don't think any more jail time in Whitman County Jail will do her any good or do society any good. I don't think it will do the victims of her crime any good. Everybody will walk out of here today with this behind them.
So the prosecutor, Dennis Tracy, reached a plea agreement with Fernandez and dropped one count of vehicular assault and all the hit and run charges. Tracy told the court that Fernandez's lack of criminal record, her young age, and willingness to take full responsibility led him to make the deal. The agreement came over strong objections from the male and female victims who suffered leg injuries, concussions, and even a punctured lung. Judge Gary Libby accepted the plea agreement during a hearing Thursday in Whitman County Superior Court before moving to sentencing. So she spent $15,000 in restitution to the victims, probably more medical bills than can imagine. And the standard range was 6 months in jail. They asked to do home monitoring sentence, and the judge agreed and with the defense and sentenced her to the max 9 months to be served at home. Wow. And that was her court appearance in November of 2022. How odd. November 2022. That was her first court appearance. And yes, it's saying she was from Yakima, was driving with a blood alcohol level nearly twice the legal limit. She failed to stop and drove to a party on Greek Row. Man. Another frat boo-boo there, that's for sure. Reminds me of the video that I showed you last week. Someone saying she didn't do it. She was hurt and was responsible for the accident. No, it didn't say she was hurt. She was a member of the Kappa Delta sorority Sigma Tau chapter at WSU. She had on 2 different shoes on also. Yeah, I remembered the 2 different shoes in that video. I sent you an email that says Brian was dating Brittany Fernandez. Apparently it was from Amber Vance. Brittany, what? Amber's pretty on spot. Let me look and see what she has. Oh my God. I got to play her video.
Meta AI on drugs. Lacey posted this in the comments. That's the photo. But y'all look at this. She searched Brittany Fernandez, Moscow, Idaho. Brittany Fernandez is the contact that Dylan created. It says that Brittany Fernandez is a former University of Idaho student and made headlines in 2015 due to her involvement in a high-profile crime case. Fernandez was a key figure in the investigation into the murder of Cassandra Riley, a University of Idaho student. But then look at this right here. Associated individuals, Fernandez's ex-fiance, Brian Koberger.
What?
How accurate is Meta AI?
None.
I don't really mess with the Book of Faces much, so I definitely don't mess with their AI. Is this typically reliable? Where do they pull from? Because what? I did turn around, obviously, and do a quick Google of Cassandra Riley and came up with nothing. Like I searched this name right here. As far as I can tell, there wasn't a murder of a Cassandra Riley at the University of Idaho in 2015. But am I wrong? Or is Meta AI wrong? Where do they come up with this? I know AI can make things up, but
wow.
I didn't know it did creative writing. I thought it was just kind of wrong sometimes, not. What do you mean, ex-fiance? Where would they pull that from? I made a rare visit to the Book of Faces to try to look up the same name. And I don't know if she searched it different, but I didn't get any of that. I got this. So help me figure this out, y'all. Let's do an experiment. Y'all go over to Meta AI and type in the same thing. Brittany Fernandez. Moscow, Idaho. And then come and tell me what it says. And definitely tell me if it says that they're the ex-fiance of Brian Koberger, because hold on now. I'm going to assume the AI doesn't know what it's talking about, but so y'all test it with me, please, pretty please. And come back and tell me what it says. Put it in the comments. What is this? Is
I love
Meta
her.
AI on drugs?
Sometimes her just expressions are amazing. I'll tell you. Okay, so yeah, 2 people got hit. This was the rest of Christy Chaos. Shout out to her again.
Elbow down for me. Beautiful.
I don't think I have any black in there.
Okay. Well, we're gonna play it safe, okay? Just in case, I'd rather take care of your neck and back just to make sure. But you know the athletic training, you know more than I do.
No point
You guys got this one for now. I'm gonna go check. Yep. All right, kiddo.
All right.
Everything's gonna be
Tell me
okay.
this pain is on you. Your knee? Your left?
Did you guys see the vehicle hit them?
Yes.
You saw the vehicle actually hit them?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what happened.
So basically, we were just walking down. The vehicle was like literally in the middle of the road. And then just kind of swerved, hit the pole right there, went on the sidewalk, hit the fire hydrant, hit them, and then just sped off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of? So it was a Jeep?
It kind of looked like a crossover,
Yeah.
kind of. Like
Okay.
a bigger crossover.
Like one of the newer, like Grand Cherokee, not like the boxy Jeeps, but like kind of like, it looks kind of like my car,
Yeah,
but it was a Jeep. Okay.
I'm not 100% sure it was a Jeep. Did you say it was a Jeep?
I'm not sure if it was a Jeep. I just.
Okay.
Yeah, just a car.
It was like a hatchback like mine though?
Yeah.
Okay. What, and can I get your guys' ID, please?
Yeah.
I don't have my wallet on me.
Okay, I'll write that down here in just a second, boss. 6'3", name, Florida. Last, first phonetically. Date of birth, 2002, female, Florida.
I'm also a Washington resident. If you need to know that.
Okay.
This is kind of just like a
Okay.
cool ID.
Perfect. So, just gonna cross this real quick. Sorry. What is your Pullman address? Okay.
I can pull up the.
What apartment number?
Yes.
Okay. And a phone number to get a hold of you.
Sorry, just got a new phone.
No problem at all. I barely remember my phone number half the time.
Yeah, I don't call myself very often. A lot of redacting, guys.
Okay. And your name, sir? Just common spelling?
Yeah. Yes.
Nice. What's your middle name, sir? You said?
Yeah. I go by. Yeah.
Gosh, come on.
What is your address? Do you guys live together?
No.
Oh my gosh. That's wild. Sorry, guys. I should.
Okay.
Apartment.
Jeez.
And then
What's a phone number to get a hold of you? Oh, hold on one second. My earpiece is falling out. They're talking to me and I can't hear them. That's a problem. All right.
Dang. This is crazy.
Okay. Witnesses, I'm good. Okay, guys. So you guys are, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just kind of going to recap your story a little bit, okay? As soon as my pockets cooperate. So you guys are walking this way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You see the Jeep. It's in the middle of the road, also driving this way.
Yeah.
Okay. The Jeep comes over, hits the pole, hits the fire hydrant, hits them. Does it stop at all, or does it just keep on keeping going?
It kept going. It did not look like it slowed down at all.
Okay. Did you see where the vehicle came from? Like, did it come
It
from?
just came up the hill.
Okay, so it just came from like Terraview or one of the apartments down there or something like
Yeah.
that.
Or it just came up the road.
Okay. Do you have any recollection? Like, could you tell me if it was like a Washington license plate or an Idaho plate or?
No.
Okay, I get it. It happens. Like, boom. I totally get it. But I just got to check and make sure.
It looked deliberate from what I saw.
Okay. What makes you think that? It looked like it swerved out of its way. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna leave you with the scene.
Gotcha.
We'll just block the whole thing off. We'll let
Do their thing.
do something.
You want? Do we have photos of the scene, or do I need to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, guys. So I will, because I have your contact information. If we need to get a hold of you, I will do that. These are contact cards that just have the Pullman PD phone number and my email. If you remember anything else that could be helpful, don't be afraid to call and just let them know. If I'm working, they'll patch you through to me. If not, they'll put you in my voicemail, and then I'll get back to you as soon as I'm back at work. Okay. Yeah, I think that should be good. Just make sure I don't forget anything. But okay. Were you guys needing to keep walking that way, or were you okay? Would you mind just crossing the street and just going down? If you do.
Okay, this is a really long video. I'm going to give you the link to Christie's Chaos if you want to watch the rest of that. I haven't watched the whole thing, but it is odd. It's right next to them. But remember, this apartment community that he lived in, folks, is clearly students, right? Obviously, PhD students, parties all around, athletic training. Yeah, there's a little bit of tidbits and everything. So if you have been watching the stream, give me a thumbs up. And one thing I want to leave you with is I'm going to follow up with this. And you guys, are you ready for a Phoenix fireball? Does anybody want one tonight? I'm going to leave you with a fireball that will make you go, what the heck happened at the University of Idaho? Or maybe what had been happening at the University of Idaho. Which one do you guys want? You want I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Okay. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. All right. I just want to double check something real quick. Let me see. Yep, that's him. All right, let me just take a look at something real quick. Yeah, it's all public knowledge. I just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to make sure. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag too quickly. Okay, we can do that. It's safe. All right. So let me give you, okay. Yeah, he did live very close to this accident. I wouldn't doubt it if he saw something or he followed up on it and was looking into it. And perhaps he was playing Super Sleuther or something. And they didn't like the fact that he was doing this, right? Or if he was absolutely involved somehow or somewhat, I would be very interested. Now, keep in mind, everything that I share with you is all public. We are not trying to bash anyone. We're not trying to defame or slander or libel anyone. We ask these questions because is it connected? All right. Dylan's contact, the new document that was unredacted, I am going to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. The only thing I think, in my humble opinion, the defense was going to do is look at this document and say, okay, Dylan, you said you were scared, X, Y, and Z. And then all of a sudden, what happened that changed your mind that you weren't scared? You didn't call 911 until all these hours later. What were you doing during this time frame, editing and adding pictures and deleting and videos and deleting and editing and visiting LinkedIn and visiting some other sites? And I mean, what? It doesn't even make sense. From a defense standpoint, they would have tore her up on the stand. Drop a 1 if you agree. I think Ann Taylor and, Elizabeth Mastoff, they would have torn her apart on the stand. I mean, freaking torn her apart. They would have picked apart every single thing that she could have said. Every single thing. In my humble opinion, allegedly, if I was a defense attorney, I would have done it too. Now, here's the kicker. We all have had all the same data. All these creators that are making content about this case still want to find truth. We are still looking for answers to a case that doesn't make sense because we have been told by the authorities Brian Koberger was factually innocent. We have been told by the FBI there was no DNA in his apartment, in his car. We have been told by the local authorities that covered this case and the Idaho State Police there was no connection, no stalking. They couldn't even prove from the prosecutor that he was ever at this house. Okay. And so that's something that makes me say in my humble heart, whoa, guys, something is not right here. Whoa, right? And it makes you ponder what's the true story? What is the true factual story? Now, I'm going to give you just a little piece of this story, and it's going to make you wonder, what are we witnessing? What are we witnessing? Speaking of fraternities and sororities, in September 3rd, 2020, a student was injured at Beta Theta Pi fraternity and in Moscow, Idaho. This is Greek Row, and the Argonaut put this out here. And it basically says on August 19th, an incident at the fraternity caused 22 members of the fraternity to move from the house to on-campus student housing. They had to move from the house to on-campus student housing. One member was injured in the incident, which the U of I Director of Communications, Jody Walker, said it was related to possible violations of the Healthy Vandal Pledge and Student Code of Conduct. See, this is an easy way for them to say, oh no, the kids went against our student code of conduct. It's not our fault. We don't have any liability when a student gets injured. I'll drop this below so you guys can all see this link. Here's where it gets good. She did not share further details on the violations. The Moscow Police Department stated the department responded to a call in the early morning about a male who was unresponsive, unconscious, and needing medical attention. I don't know why these ads keep popping up everywhere. Sorry, guys. Okay, so now you have a frat that is unresponsive, unconscious, and needing medical attention. According to the police report, MPD Sergeant Jason Howes spoke with several members of BPD, this is the fraternity, when he arrived at the scene. The members stated the injured student was totally fine and he just had a rough night. All right? He's totally fine. He just had a rough night, guys. Everyone is all good. He told the members of the frat that EMS had arrived and needed to see the injured student for themselves. But the members went upstairs to bring the student out, but came back saying he could not walk. House advised EMS to enter the fraternity and examine the student where he was. Now, according to the report, the student laying on the floor was completely unresponsive. So let me just ask you this question right now. Is this the standard somebody is unresponsive that we see all over the place? Oh, I don't know. They're just not responsive. They're unresponsive. Okay? Is this the standard answer that they have been told to say in case these things happen? Because to me, it seems like a pattern of unresponsive individuals, in my humble opinion. Now, this student did not respond, this frat guy didn't respond to sternum rubs, and his eyes would not respond to the light. EMS treated the student and transported him to the Gritman Medical Center. Now, the vice president, Braden Pillow, arrived later. House explained the severity of the situation and obviously the situation to Paulo, because he was the vice president of the frat, and other high-ranking members, and expressed BPD members added risk in minimizing the situation and being hesitant towards law enforcement, which we see all the time. When they show up, don't cooperate. Nope, we have our own hierarchy that we work with within our organizations and our frats, and we don't need any help. Got it. Check. This incident at the time was still under investigation. Neither Walker nor the Interfraternity Council President, Joseph Breyer, were able to provide exact details on what happened, obviously, that night. Now, here's where it gets really super good. He said the 22 new members of the fraternity were moved into student housing while the incident is investigated. In addition, the U of I distrusted the chapter to follow and give, obviously, a healthy environment for the first-year students. And all those new members were freshmen, and they were not yet initiated into the chapter. They were undergoing the process of learning the history and the values of the chapter. And the chapter has 63 active members. New members are not allowed into the BTP chapter facility for now. They've been suspended. All right. Now, this name, I want you to remember the vice president, Braden Paulo. Okay. So obviously they were investigated, yada, yada, yada. They basically said it was pending, and they want everyone to know that BTP is positive. They're a positive member of the community, and it's a safe place for all students. Now, I'm trying not to put all these ads up here, but that was the student injured at the fraternity in 2020. Now, what I find very interesting is this Vice President Braden Paulo. Y'all, I can't make this up. He was actually on the witness list for the U of I in some shape or form, working with the prosecution. He was on the list. Whoa. Why would they be calling this vice president of the chapter of Beta Theta Phi in the Brian Koberger case? Why do you think he was on the witness list? Let's just take some wild guesses. Drop them below. I want to see what your thoughts are on this. Why do you think, and then I'll give you my thoughts. Why do you think this guy was on the witness list for the state prosecution of Brian Koberger? I'm just curious to see what you guys have up your... Well, who is this guy? Well, here is a picture of him with his fraternity buddies. That's interesting. Busted. I love it, Ink Mama. Busted. Lulu Bell says hazing, possibly. Bam. Oh my God, he knew something. Yeah, so I mean, this could have backfired, right? The witness for the prosecution asked the VP of a hazing event, okay? A hazing event, and his buddies. Hey, come on over, guys. All public info. This is him, Moscow, University of Idaho, Braden Paulo. There it is. And just take a look at who his friends are. Give me a name and I'll search so that we don't have to sit and go through all of them, because eventually this will probably be scrubbed and he'll put his on private, because that's normally what happens once I share information. Adam Lotta, buddies. He knows Adam Lotta, of course. Who else do you think he knows? Maybe just name a few people. Save it now. Oh, Peyton Rossi. Okay, we know that. Let's see who else. Oh, track him is Nate. Nate. We know who Nate is. We've talked about Nate before. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Jake. There's good old Jake. Let's see. Who else? I'm sure he knows all the regular suspects. I'm just saying, allegedly. Let's see. There's a couple names I notice on here. There's good old Mitch. Now, I'm not saying these guys are guilty of anything. Everyone is innocent until proven in the court of law. And yeah, that Lake Campbell guy, he just keeps popping up everywhere. So freaking weird. So weird. Let's go back down. Let's see who I missed. Let's see. Just a lot of people that, I mean, I know they all travel in the same pack. You know, that the top 5 people you hang around, you become like. Quite a bit of people in here that kind of, 6 degrees of separation, or 2 degrees in this case, because it is a small community. Just some thoughts. I mean, what would make you think, okay, so you want me to check and see. Now, I think allegedly DM may have erased a lot of her social media stuff. I think she erased it. A lot of these people kind of moved away, far, far away. And I know people, move after they graduate and move on with their lives, and they get married and they go somewhere else. And things change. It's not like people stay around in the same area. I get it. I moved thousands and thousands of miles away in another country. I mean, it is what it is. This guy knows a lot of people too. I mean, it's not like let's go collect names or people, but there are quite a few people on here. University of Idaho, University of Idaho. Okay, so you guys are giving me names that just came up through the chat. Let me just type some names in here real quick, see if we see anything. So I could be here all freaking day looking. Emily. Those are the Emilys that he knows. And can't spell tonight. Wow, can't spell. It is late. No, I don't see any. Dylan. I'm blind. Jack Decor. Oh, somebody else is already on it. I saw Jack D. Look at you guys. if you don't have a couple of if you don't have a couple of devices. He looks so like he's having such a good time in the snow, huh? Doesn't he? Interesting. Okay, so he was called by the prosecution witness list. Does he know everyone on the involved list? Well, let me get my handy dandy little picture up here, because I am so glad you just asked me, because I'm going to give you one more fireball tonight, because you guys are so freaking faithful and you guys are always tuning in. Just take a look at this for a minute. I'm going to pop up my favorite chart ever, because this comes right from the mouth of Moscow Police Department, folks. I think Jack's got a new girlfriend, allegedly, no? Speculatory. I thought somebody said that. I think so. Okay, so I've been holding back a name for a while because I really wanted to make sure that I had my cards right. There is an individual that has been named, okay, that factually lived right here. And I'm going to show you the picture so you guys know what I'm talking about. We have, everything is all alleged. You can do your homework, right? Everyone has the ability to do a little bit of research, do your own homework. This is for entertainment purposes only, speculatory. Now, somebody on this list lives right here. And we have been wondering just what type of involvement that these people possibly could have. Okay? Now, I'm not one to make up stories for sensationalism, or if that was the case, I would have 10,000 people on a live. But the individual standing to the left right here in the robe talking to the officer, that person is on this list. And that person is on the witness list. And her name is right here in yellow, right in the center of this screen. Now, what in the world would the prosecutor, right here in yellow, don't worry about the other two, what else would the prosecutor, or why else would the prosecutor be calling this individual at this house to testify, unless she either saw what happened, is a witness to what happened, saw what was going on in my one that I have edited, this video. Remember this video? I don't know if they were coming and going or whatever, or how involved they were. I do not know. But we have shared that video before. So this individual, why would it be so important for the prosecution to bring this person to the witness stand? Any ideas? She lived in Boise. She's got some friends. She's got some connections. She was doing public relations. She was there at that time. She definitely lived there. She talks to the officer. We see Snyder. We see Gunderson get the CD. We see Schneider talk to her. knock on the door. Is she the one who left the house? How do we know this for sure? Oh, I've been comparing this list for a while. You know me, I will double check, cross check, triple check anything before I share. So what in the world, or why in the world would the prosecution call this person to the stand? Because remember, I'm about to show you some document that was unredacted and shared with the world in this case that has always baffled my mind. Okay? Because truthfully, I believe what happened in court obviously stayed in court. They redacted this open hearing and then they sealed it. They sealed it. But the judge said this, okay? And I'm going to leave you. I've got some more information I'll share with you tomorrow on this process that I went through about this. And I'm really going to talk about the drug angle tomorrow. You guys are going to want to know what I found out. Okay? I'll give you a tidbit. But this last Phoenix fireball I have talked about before, Relentless, and I'm going to bring it home again. I'm going to bring it home. So Miss Mastoff was saying what she was concerned about. And she basically was talking about, evidence. I'm just going to leave it at that. And so the judge basically responds to her and says, look, I did give a deadline for the alternative perpetrators because this was a big part of the defense. I did, give you a deadline. They needed to be identified because that's not the rule of law. The perpetrator clause, you don't have to name someone specifically in Idaho, from what I understand. Okay? You don't have to name. There just has to be enough reasonable doubt. So apart from whatever my ruling is within regard to those 4 individuals, anyone else, it would have to be before anything is brought to the jury. Judge Hippler didn't want the defense to spring this on the jury at the last minute. He wanted to be in control. He wanted to be in the know, and he wanted to know exactly what was happening because they were arguing back and forth, prosecution and defense, that, hey, you've got all these people on the witness list, and Mastoff was okay with everyone that the prosecution was asking to bring in. They had no problem. But Judge Hippler said it would have to be before anything is brought to the jury to be an extraordinary showing of good cause as to why it was not brought to the court's attention first. He says attention prior to then, but he wanted to know first. And I'd have to take a look at all of it, all the relative factors, including prejudice at that point to the state for not having brought that forward in light of the deadlines set by the court. Then Judge Hippler, I shit you not, says, well, I suppose during trial, if somebody confesses, that's a different situation. I'm not holding out hope or belief that's going to happen, but I suppose you never know. I want to be clear. I will issue a ruling, but I'm going to tell you that I don't find the defense has submitted anywhere near sufficient evidence to go beyond rank speculation that these individuals were in any way involved in this crime. And then heavily redacted, but it's nowhere near there's nowhere near tying them to the crime itself. The reason I wanted to have this hearing, the hearing they had, And the reason I wanted it to be sealed is because I'm not inclined to allow counsel to go out and try to destroy the reputations of people without any foundation to do so. Before there's any suggestion to the jury that a specific named individual was involved in this case, I better hear about it first. The defense is entitled to cross-examine about the scope of the state's investigation and the thoroughness of the investigation and the reasonableness of the investigation. Certainly questions may be potentially come about, and why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that, from the officers. Where we may get more tenuous is when we start getting into collateral information about individuals. I can understand that a claim motive might be important as it relates to the reasonableness of the investigation. Basically saying, hey guys, if this investigation was spot on, we should have a closed case. We should have a jury that comes back and says guilty. We shouldn't have to be any problems. I want to be careful if it's offered at all. And what happens? You guessed it. They redacted everything else that was said in the hearing. These are the minutes, and that was it. Then they talk about the jury questions. No objection, we're good, and they were done with the hearing. And this was the hearing that we watched online, and that was it. They didn't let us see that part, and they didn't let us know all of that. They heavily redacted that. Heavily. Now, let me say this. Yeah, somebody called and confessed, and they probably didn't give any details. They never arrested him because that's not what happened in this crime. I guarantee you, there's people that call and confess of crimes they never make. And if they have a history and a background, they may just want to go back to jail because there is a set routine, 3 meals a day. They get free time. They get internet tablet time. And some people like that structure. It's almost like the military, folks. So even though they call and take responsibility, if this individual who claimed, oh, yes, I did it, but has no specific details, just like what's happening in the Nancy Guthrie case, people will call and say, I did it. And if they have no viable information about the crime itself, like you've seen the suits walk through today, they walked through and probably explained what exactly happened, because the guy in the jackets, the FBI in the jackets, they already went and did all their little criminal testing and their profiling, and the suits walked in and basically told them this is what happened. They went this way. They probably attacked her at the front door, hypothetically, and bingo bango, they exited either through the garage or out the back, or there was a car waiting, and this is exactly what happened to your mother. Now, that's all speculation, but I'm giving you an example. If somebody calls and says, I committed the crime, but has no details, no specific details that only the cops would know, they would be like, yeah, they're going to laugh you out of town. Okay? They will always ask for specific details that they never release to the public. And that is why an ongoing investigation, you don't play fish when they're playing poker. So let me finish it off with this. So, Judge Hippler basically says all this, and I read the ending before I gave you the beginning, because this is how messed up that we already know this investigation is, that Miss Mastoff put it in writing in front of the court and on the record. She said what everyone knew. She says, I want to clarify 2 reasons why there was a statement about there could be more. Okay? More than this or that person who committed these crimes. One being that we have not looked at all the tip evidence that is coming in. This was, guys, this was on the 18th of 2025, June 18th. And they were getting ready. this was like 2 weeks before the trial was going to begin. They were still getting just barely through the tip stuff. Okay? Now, here's the kicker, and then I'm going to sign off for the night, and I'll be back tomorrow at 11:15. Miss Mastoff says, one being that we've not looked at all the tip evidence that is coming in. This was as of the 2025, which is a ginormous amount, Your Honor. We wouldn't just surprise you. We know you don't like surprises, but when it comes to other thing regarding the numbers beyond 4, I think the court, because they named 4 perpetrators, I think the court has seen in the exhibits the number of people who have been examined for DNA. And this is where she gives it away, folks. This is where Miss Mastoff brings it home and slams the investigation, slams the prosecution, and I think because of this, they had to make a plea deal with Bryan Kohberger. And I believe, in my humble opinion, allegedly, Ann Taylor was not going to play Russian roulette one opportunity with Bryan Kohberger's life. They took the plea deal, and they'll get around the PCR later at another time. But Miss Mastoff finishes off before they get into what Judge Hippler just said. Maybe somebody will confess. There are some peoples whose DNA was extracted and comparisons were made. And then there's a whole other group that are on those states' exhibits where the DNA samples were taken but were never developed into an extraction for comparison purpose. Did you all get that? What a freaking fireball. And also names I think we know, if they develop over the course of this case and how people are coming in, whether it's in the form of initials or in the form of names, or if they're putting these people that they've listed on the stand, it's very clear what their names are. We'll just have a discussion of what's fair game in closing argument. I will leave it at that. She did not give it all away. And I love the fact that she left Judge Hippler hanging. Because Thompson comes back with a rebuttal. He comes back with the rebuttal that you could read the rest of. It is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And of course, the state objected, saying that we don't believe it's not appropriate. We believe that it is not appropriate to do this. It's not appropriate that you tank our case in chief that we're trying to move forward and prosecute, and you keep stopping us at every twist and turn. But the judge keeps siding with us because, you know, kangaroo courts, guys. If you ever, here's my PSA for the night. If you ever get arrested, please do what you can to have a private attorney. Please. First rule of thumb, don't get arrested. 2, if you have to, get a private attorney. And if you're not sure, option 3, see number 1. Okay? This is the way it went. This is how it went down. Tomorrow, you are going to be blown away, obviously, yet again, when I tell you something about this list, something about the MPD reports, Timu Police Force. Oh, and we're being nice. We could have said Wayfair. While the prosecution was actively burying them in BS. I agree. I so agree. Yeah, it's wild. It is wild. We see all these people standing around trying to say X, Y, and Z. It's crazy. The new contact that was exposed, I don't think we'll know. I don't think we'll ever really know. There's way too many possibilities. There's no for sure connection. But I do know this. There's a lot of effery in this case. Way too much that shouldn't be. Way too much. Drop a 1 if you enjoyed this stream. I know we've been together a lot today, and I greatly appreciate every single one of you. Staying up late, coming to hang out. If you have to go to work tomorrow, please get a good night's sleep. If you are just hanging out with us, come hang out with us at 11:15 Mountain Standard Time tomorrow, where I'll bring you part 2 of the IDAHO4. And this one is going to be about the alleged drug angle and this whole narrative people are pushing because they don't want you to take a look at the official police reports. There are some people that will never talk about these official police reports. I am, and you are going to be blown away after you find out what I learned. Y'all be well. Have a good night. Give my mod a lot of love because he stayed around. Y'all are so amazing. Have a great night. Sleep well.
Can you feel the shift arise? A love for the truth reflected in our eyes. We turn the pages, breaking all the locks. This is a true crime, resetting all the clocks. From the ashes of silence, a new day is born. For every lost soul, a promise is sworn. The blindfold is lifting, steady and slow. A garden of justice is starting to grow. A shift to arise, pure justice. The Lady Justice.